Hi, I'm with Badger Basket, here to go through the assembly instructions for the 3-wheel doll jogging stroller. Before you get started, make sure you look at the stroller and make sure you don't have any damaged pieces or missing parts. If you do, contact Badger Basket as shown in the end of the instructional video. So let's get started. For this assembly, you will need Part A, the stroller frame, Part B, the short axle, Part C, the front wheel, 2 of Part D's, which are the front spacers, 2 of Part E, which are the caps, 2 of Part F, which are the bumpers. You will need Part G, which is the long axle, 2 of Part H's, which are the rear spacers, and 2 of the rear wheels, which are Part I, that have the metal clips. For step 1, what we're going to be doing is assembling the metal stroller frame. To make it easier, I like to pull up on the padded handle and kind of pull down on this metal frame at the same time. You'll know you have it in place when you hear a click, like so. Then you have the metal frame assembled. Next, we're going to be moving on to that front wheel. So for step 2, we're going to take the front wheel here. We're going to be putting the short axle frame through the hole so it's sticking out on both sides. Next, what we're going to be doing is putting the front wheel spacer, which is Part D, onto both sides of that short axle. Once it's on both sides, then you're going to put these caps on. When looking at these caps, you're going to see a hole on one of the sides. This is where the short metal axle needs to go into. So we'll place that hole in there, into that axle, and do the same to the other side. So far at this point, this is how it should look. For step 3, what we're going to be doing is putting the bumpers onto each of these metal posts. But first I'm going to kind of show you how this will be assembled so it makes sense when you're putting it together. When looking at the bumper, you will see a wider ridge or rim which will be facing upward. So it'll be the 3 bumps and then kind of that space where that wider rim is. We'll put this one up. Now before I do this other side, I'm going to show you how this cap will go into place. So I'll take it off this wheel here just so I can show you real quick. There's this inside piece that will actually snap into this hole once it's put up into place. So once I start pushing it on, you'll see it separate. And this needs to be directed at that hole, because once it goes over, it'll actually pop into place. Then what we'll do is we'll put down this bumper, and once it's all the way at the bottom, push real hard, and it'll give us a nice click, which means it's locked into place. So I'm going to take this cap back off and put it onto my wheel. I'll put this other bumper in place. Again, remember that wider rim needs to go upward here. So I'm going to put this side on here. Remember, it'll kind of space out on this cap and pop into place. Do the same on the other side. Usually it's best if you do them both at the same time. Pop them in. Lower these bumpers down on both sides. Push until it clicks. Then we're going to repeat on this other side here. I'm just going to turn it here so you can see. Push down on this bumper. Push until it clicks. Now your wheel should be securely held in place. For step 5, what we're going to be doing is assembling the rear wheels of the stroller. We're going to take the long metal axle, and first you're going to be putting on one of these rear spacers, which is the smaller of the 2 Part H. Once it's on, we're going to take one of the wheels and we're going to be putting it onto the long axle. You'll notice on the back side that there's a hole here. This is where we're going to insert that axle. If you push it to where it can't go any further, hold it there, and then you're going to see this metal clip on the other side. If you push down on this metal clip, the rear axle will go in a little bit further. So push it in as far as it can go at that point. Let go of the metal clip, and then try to see if you can wiggle the axle out. It should not be able to come out at this point. So now, making sure you have that spacer up against the wheel, we're going to take this long axle and we're going to be putting it through this hole on the stroller metal frame. So we'll put it through that hole here. And then you'll see that there's a hole on the other side. So we're going to be putting our metal axle through that hole as well. Now what we're going to be doing is putting on the other wheel. So again, repeating the exact same steps, putting that spacer on first, and then we're going to be putting on the other rear wheel. So putting that axle through that hole on the wheel, pushing down on that metal clip and pushing the wheel on a little further. Then release that metal clip, check to make sure that the wheel does not come off, and you're all set. For step 6, what we're going to be doing is putting the handlebar up. When looking at the handle, you're going to see this button on this side and one on the other side. What you need to do is push both of them in at the same time and raise the handle up to whatever height you would like. And let go of those buttons, and it should be held into place. Now for step 7, we're going to be putting the safety locks into place. This is to keep the stroller from folding on itself. These 2 metal bars here on both sides by the safety locks, what you need to do is push down on them until they're below that pink end and clipped into place. So again, push down until they're clipped into place. So now it shouldn't fold up on itself. Last you can do is put up the umbrella, put out the little kickstand, and you're all set to go. So the last thing to do is to fold up the stroller. We can pull back the umbrella, put up the kickstand, and the first thing you need to do is unlock these safety clips. So if you pull up on them on each side, and then what you're going to do is pull up on them even more so. They kind of have a spring attached to them, so you'll pull up. While pulling up, you need to take this pink piece and pull up on it so it deattaches from this bottom one, from the other metal frame. You're going to do that on the other side. Pull up here, pull up on this pink piece until it deattaches. From there, you can fold the stroller down and you're set to go. And that concludes the assembly of the 3-wheel doll jogging stroller. Remember, if you have any questions for Badger Basket, please contact them as shown on the next clip. Otherwise, enjoy!